Now on this page, if you look at the libraries, you can see we have various libraries for working with JSON Web Tokens for different platforms. So we have it for .NET, Python, Node, and so on. So back in the terminal, let's install JSON Web Token. So the version I'm using is 8.1.1. Now here in our auth module, before returning the response, we need to create a new JSON Web Token. So first we need to import this new JSON Web Token module. So on the top, let's import JSON Web Token and store it in a constant called JWT. Now, back in our route handler, here we call JWT.sign. Now here we pass a payload, which can be a simple string or an object like what we have here. So the properties we put in this object is entirely up to us. So in our application for now, I want the payload of our JSON Web Tokens to look like this. So an object with only one property, underline ID, which we set to user.underline_ID. So that's our payload. Now as the second argument, we need to pass a secret or private key. And this private key is used to create that digital signature. So for now, I'm going to hard code a private key here, but don't do that in a real world application. You should not store your secrets in your source code. Later, we're going to extract this and put it in an environment variable. So let's just set this to JWT private key. You can use any string here. It doesn't have to be JWT private key. So now we call the sign method, and as a result, we'll get a token. So let's store it in this token. And finally, we can return this token to the client. Simple as that. Now let's test this. So back in Postman, I'm going to send a valid email and password to our authentication endpoint. So send. Okay, and here's our JSON Web Token. You can simply copy this and then go back to jwt.io. Here in the debugger, delete this JSON Web Token and paste the one you copied. So now you can see the payload of our JSON Web Token. We have our underline ID property, which we set. That's the object ID for a MongoDB document. We also have I@, which is the time this token was created. We can use this to determine the age of a JWT. All right, so this is how we generate a token. In the next lecture, I'm going to show you how to move this private key into an environment variable.